Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have two Divine Masculine Twin Flame reads for you to back. I had to do both of them today because the first one was done at 2:22 and the second one had 2222 for all of the elements or the suits. So a lot of good balance for the masculine today and some very cool energies. Another message also came through that was very cool for me. My dad came through in my reads, and actually I didn't realize until the messages were coming through from my dad that today is the day that he passed away 3 years ago. So these messages for the masculine are going to be for today, November 6th to the 7th, tomorrow. And it is the 6th today. So 6 is the Lover's card. It's all about love, family, and community. And the day adds up to the 2911, which is a power number. 11 is a very visionary number. The 29 is the 3 of Wands. Waiting for your ships to come in, or just all about being present in the moment. So we have the Lovers and being present in the moment. Very much about the masculine and feminine coming together. So the first read was done at 2:22 a.m. last night. And the major arcana were the Moon, which is Luna in the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, which is my main deck here. The Justice card, Indigo, which is like the Magician, Starseed, the Fool, Guidance, the Hierophant, and then before the read, the Tower came up. After the read, the Hermit came up, which is called Reflection in this deck. We also have the Rider-Waite Mini, the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Romance Angels, the Numerology deck, Golden Universal Tarot, as well as the Gilded Tarot. Okay, so getting right into this read. So this is the read in front of you is the second read, so that's not going to apply to this read. But the message from the first read was all about physical activities and love. So that could be something nice. And then we have the Court cards. The Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups also came up before the read. And then we had double sixes, double tens, and double sevens as well in this read. Double sixes, double sevens, and double tens. Also 213 came up, 36, which is the 10 of Wands, 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and then 710 also came up. The message, all being about the physical activity and the love, came out to be, where did I write that? It had to do with the, again, I told you yesterday in the coding, the term the divine Jew came up in the coding, which was really funny, referencing Jesus. So that came up again today, which really cracks me up. And the indigo, which has to do with the magician. But the indigo magician is the child. It's the childlike magician as Jesus, like Jesus in the manger. The manger was coming up yesterday. After death, southeast. And southeast, the direction has come up a lot for me as far as where to go in the United States. But it's also come up in Turkey, and also, I'm trying to think where. Not Syria, but in the Middle East somewhere. I can't think of which country it was right now. But Turkey had just had come up also, and just around Greece, where the Greek islands are, because one of the Greek islands is actually named Kos, and that's my dad's nickname. So northeast is very significant here, or southeast today, but northeast has come up a lot. But the southeast and Florida came up recently, and also today some other countries will come up that will reference the southeast. So pay attention to whatever comes up as the southeast. But the after death southeast, which also has to do with the divine feminine collective, the 10 of the high vibration of the F for me has to do with the number 6, the Lovers, but also the temperature rising. And that will come up more so in the second read. So the temperature of the masculine obviously has a shorter fuse than the feminine. So it comes up as referencing the human body as the boiling point for the masculine at around 100, 112, you know, as opposed to the feminine, which comes up as 212. So they have a much higher boiling point. And to take the high road, the divine Jew, indigo, for the magician, who's the Jesus energy, which references the divine masculine templating, okay, as far as physical activities and love. Okay, stay in your high vibration. in the after-death energy. So it's like the after-death of Jesus rising. I'm getting AdSense too, so I don't know why AdSense is coming up. But to keep that high vibration and take the high road, makes, watch your boiling point. Don't let it get to that place. Pull it back in, and physical activity and love, of course, are good ways of doing that. So the Page of Wands starts out that read. Inspired to new life, union, move. The Queen of Wands moves out, possibly in a breakup. News, message, and the Six of Swords reversed. No peace or can't find a peaceful place to be. After deception, and the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups in a tower moment, defenseless to the energies. Deliberating is out, and reaping choice of path. Saving, grounding, holding on loosely. Disconnected, possibly at the ranch house or out in the country. Unable to find peace. A lead foot, dragging on forever. All pure, daydreaming of a new world, grounded with a view of the skyline perhaps, and skating on thin ice. Saving for a new path, curtains, and cleaning up the yard perhaps. And the retreat came up underneath codependency for the masculine. So after maybe a small getaway, whether it's by himself or with family or whoever he's with, codependency comes up again. So the King of Pentacles reversed and the Sovereign reversed are out, no longer chasing, no longer obsessed. The Dark Priestess reversed, cutting cords, and the Emperor reversed is with the King of Swords. Two white birds flying actually land, and the King of Swords is pushing away old relations. The Emperor reversed, no longer with two women, and the Dark High Priestess is without their keys. No more cat in the way or ankle bells. And perseverance came up for the masculine, and beneath that was health. So after working on his health, it's now time for him to persevere and not give up. And that was under the number 4, which is the Emperor. Health is 71, which is the 3 of Pentacles, which is very much the Trinity, the workplace in this deck. So I jumped out of bed this morning because the FedEx rang the doorbell. And I thought that I might have to sign for something, so I had to jump out of bed really quick. And that was at, I was answering some comments at 12:21, and then Brian's song came up. The Queen of Cups is out, being seen. Conflict abounds with breakups, no affection, dropping the ball, the facade, and breaking patterns, and breaking dawn, delta dawn. Okay, and that has to do with the pooling or the puddling. So the delta is the triangle of when like two streams of water come together. It takes some time, right, to sort that out in order to go into one stream over the dam or the fall, whatever it is. But also that's where pooling happens, where you can get dirty water. So things get cloudy and yucky. So there's congestion there. And that was at 12:27. 12 is the Hangman, and 27 is the Ace of Wands. Okay, and that references to sexual frustration. The dark dogs without a leg to stand on, and Major Tom without grounding presently. The King of Swords is reversed, and the Queen of Cups is upright, not juggling, not performing, just loving. Deception and deliberation, tooting a horn from under the water. The bird is making the weirdest conversation at that point outside. It sounded like stuttering, or like when you're cold and you're shivering, you go, oh. The bird was making these weird low noises like that outside, some kind of low trill, like nervous or shivering voice. And then Shiva or sitting Shiva was coming up, but it could have to do with stuttering as well, or just someone really nervous. I was getting like snorkeling as well. If the water gets in there, your snorkel, you can't breathe. So and that water references emotions. And then I was getting a lot of stress coming up, or nervousness, and a lot of pressure in my sinuses, which often reflects when my twin is mad or upset about something. Deception, bad judgment, poor decision to lie, to be not himself, the King of Swords reversed. I ain't nothing but a hound dog. So that was coming up right there. The crab pretending to be a lobster. People like that, people like the lobster better. It costs more money. But now all the false will be seen, and lies are all exposed. And then I just looked at my iPad that second, and a picture of a cross street came up, East 77th Terrace and Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, which they were taking down. They were taking down Martin Luther King Boulevard. And then it wasn't that old. Apparently it was something else, and I didn't go into reading about why, but you can check into that if you'd like to. But there's definitely some racial wounds coming up, because last night I ended up watching a movie about a couple whose son who went missing, and then they had to find. The whole movie was about the husband and wife, which was an interracial couple, having a fight about the son and their different perspectives on the son, because then they were in separation right now, and the whole black-white thing. So it was very interesting what was coming up. And then here again, Martin Luther King came up when I looked at my iPad, and obviously that was an issue for wherever this was, because they were taking that down. At night, before dawn, and tummy started getting really stressed out here. So somebody might be getting a GI bug, or just nauseous about thinking about whatever they're thinking about is making them sick. Deception of the King of Swords reversed, without peace and holding on, skating on thin ice. The King of Swords then is upright and reversed, with a third party and persevering. Or it could be two different King of Swords, one that's upright, one reversed, and that could very much reference someone who maybe have a lawyer or a counselor or some kind of professional person. Could be a financial advisor as well. But at 12:42 today, my tummy got stressed out. The stress was more in my heart and solar plexus before that. And then right there, it went to me like feeling sick. And that's right then when it was 12:44 and I realized that my father had passed away today. That he just reminded me. Which, didn't make me sad. I mean, for me, it was, my father was suffering for a long time before he passed away, so I don't have any attachment to that. But just that it came up today to remember him, and then some more coding from the next read came up because of my dad, and I'll tell you when that comes up. It was very sweet. So recently is the Starseed upright, like the new beginning, the Fool, offering a new life to the King of Swords, inspired by the King of Pentacles reversed. Unstable, moving, ending a marriage, or visiting a friend, offering the truth to the awakening or the awakened one, or to someone, maybe someone has a really good idea, but to the one that has an open heart, and to open the heart more fully and free self to leap, leaving behind the war and the need to defend yourself. The foundation here is the Page of Wands upright, inspiration. There is truth in the King of Pentacles reversed, instability, and freeing others, and the masculine inspired by the past returning, or a negative past or difficult kids, to make the family happy or complete the cycle, powerless or financially drained, or no longer single, the sham fam deceiving, and the Knight of Cups offering love to take someone off the market, or just powerless to being love. Centrally, the energy, again, the Divine Jew came up, justice and or Libra, expressing feelings, heated exchange. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue, afraid lashing will cause more suffering to someone else. Already, because they've already been taken down, the prisoner released through expressing feelings. The challenge being the Indigo reversed, the King of Wands upright, and then dropping burdens and feeling insecure. So the Devil waves hello in a surrender moment. And the Knight of Wands reversed, the player, maybe who got played or played the messenger of truth and took them down. The Queen of Pentacles upright, unhappy without their wish, and she could be coming up as a player or having been played, holding back their passions, falling short on energy, or innocently unable to express feelings or find the words of surrender to the Devil or the Capricorn energy in order to say hello. The King of Cups reversed, detached from the Page of Cups, who's upright, dumped or without burdens, like a child or a baby, for frustrating sexual and creative blocks, unable to conceive or unable to conceive of such a thing, and dropping the baton of the devil rising above the 5D connection. The Knight of Pentacles offering help or proposal to unsatisfied, unhappy, and or arrogant Hierophant and Viking priestess, which olive head comes up here as well, so it could be a Greek or Italian person or somebody in the Middle East. Now the Six of Pentacles upright, sharing, and the Queen of Swords about third-party Hierophant. Is about the third-party Hierophant marriage, or sharing about the Hierophant marriage or Taurus or end of the family cycle. So with that Six of Pentacles upright, that's equity, it's a balanced sharing relationship, or being charitable, giving to others. But the Queen, sharing the Queen of Swords about third-party Hierophant or Taurus or marriage, and end of a family cycle, with the Queen of Wands, surrender to the King of Swords reversed, that belongs with the Queen of Swords. Family of the Hierophant all unhappy or not getting along at work, or ending a family and left a business, healing, forgiving, the Messenger of Truth reversed, which can be all about someone holding their tongue or giving somebody a verbal lashing, can be definitely verbal abuse. The Queen of Cups reversed, coming up depressed, holding their tongue or lying to themselves. And the King of Wands may hug someone or hug themselves in a sudden event, explosion, eruption, epiphany, crown, top, or cover blown through the roof, in disconnect from the King of Cups reversed, and a child, no reunion and frustrated, rising above sleeplessness and 5D, in difficult emotions and impatient or losing their temper, injured, left behind by a Capricorn or codependent relationship, the devil, falling short or played by third energy, frustration, and the inability to conceive. The Knight of Pentacles, humble servant, would still offer help after the devil blocked them. So someone's very surprised by this. And the Knight of Pentacles got past the devil on 2 different timelines, coming clean and offering something practical to unhappy Hierophant and Viking priestess, or a Taurus and a Pisces. And that was at 116, the Magician and the Tower. Tower was a big deal today because it came up in both reads. So at 117, the Magician and the Star, soon for the masculine is the Six of Swords without peace, offering big love back to the sealed divine feminine and the world with a message of love. Love offered from Leo, taming the beast, in disconnect, breakup, not seeing eye to eye, maybe face to face under the radar. Spreading the word, the Queen of Wands reversed, grieving, regretful at the present time, in need of help, money, or an opportunity, or is an opportunist or seen that way, and the King of Swords is in difficult emotions, dumping responsibilities and rising above, so having a tough time doing that. And the Queen of Wands reversed may be mad or tired or sick of feeling guilt, shame, loss, and regret, and talking it out in a disconnect, and then working on it without walking away. But they're sick and tired of feeling the guilt, the shame, the loss, and the regret. And they're sick and tired of talking it out in disconnect without walking away. So they're sick of being in those yucky energies, in the delta energies. The divine masculine is the 10 of Wands reversed. That's how they're seeing themselves here. Done fighting, conflict, and resisting. Unable to rest, rising above, working to align with creativity and sharing with others without burdens. Release your ex. You deserve love. And calling in your soulmate came up for the masculine. Around him, or how he is seen, is the Three of Swords, healing, forgiving, and no rain today. Broken, or a breakdown, car issues, emergencies, cancellation of a move or trip, or on the warpath, blocking the wheel from moving forward, not using intuition or a secret that is out, and unhappy or unsatisfied, not getting your wish. Clear blocks, divine masculines of the Seven of Swords reversed, being sneaky or coming clean, not passing downloads in secret, keeping to self in a painful end, or a betrayal or back pain, and ending dark night and walking away. The divine feminine may be spreading the news. The Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Swords about a breakup, disconnect, and presently grieving, loss, regret, and the need to drop the baton and either go forward or start over again from scratch. Love comes up and physical activity, but even more so, environment, love partnership, and teaching and learning. Expressing in a passionate exchange with past and or memories now returning. The Hierophant and Viking Princess, olive head, reversed, not using intuition or secret passion is out. The Hierophant, Taurus or guidance, and stuck without peace, dumping emotional attachments and now coming clean. Frustrated, no growth or passion, falling short and unhappy alone. The Hierophant and the King of Swords, or Taurus, King of Swords, and secret passion out and in need of help or someone who's an opportunist. Presently sad, the Hermit reversed, may be bored or grounding and integrating an offer. If the Queen of Pentacles doesn't accept or won't decide, the Knight of Pentacles may just decide to walk right past her and offer the same thing to the Hermit reversed. It's like going down the line and having multiple opportunities or choices. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue or coming out holding back an announcement, and the King of Swords in a painful ending, a betrayal, or back pain, or getting a massage. After ignored, the Queen of Pentacles is still offering help to come out. No 5D message with the Queen of Swords in pain, and lovers go through a breakup. No affection, injured and left behind to free self from prison, the Empress coming out with insecurities, or a mother with mental issues and the Emperor reversed in need of help. Without her, to drop the facade, the performance, and breaking patterns, and help self. And that was at 141, which is the Magician and the Ace of Cups. The Empress is upright, but the Emperor reversed. There's definitely a breakup here and a dropping of the facade or patterns. Tripped up, breaking patterns, prisoner freed, but insecure and manipulative and in need of help. Off kilter. Abandoned, homeless, and feeling like he's losing his mind. The Emperor reversed and Page of Pentacles reversed. Both facades dropped and helpless. Deception as a bomb dropped about the King of Swords reversed being a liar, and the Page of Wands inspired to justice and or Libra energy, balance and sharing, challenged by someone scared to propose or offer something, a manipulator without the tools, only their self to give, unburdened without a peaceful place to go, healing, forgiving, and coming clean without downloads. The Hierophant, guidance, and or Taurus, committed to self, coming out about verbal abuse, the King of Swords, and a painful ending. Okay, and then, of course, like I said, today is the anniversary of my father's passing, so there may be that for somebody else as well. So the second read was done, which is in front of you, at 2:10 to 2:11 today, which is the High Priestess, the Wheel of Fortune, and Justice again. And I'm still having a lot of arm issue too. So my right arm, and now my left shoulder's starting to hurt too, probably from the imbalance of it. So there's still some releasing or purge for me. That's a purge for sure, being released. So my body's trying to balance it out by bringing it into the left side. So let me know if any of you are feeling any of that. This second read, we had the wheel, the great wheel, the shadow, and the solar deity. All right, so the shadow is the devil and the solar deity, the sun. Before the read was the strength card, and that was it for the majors in this read. This one, they had 2 of each suit. We had 2 wands, 2 pentacles, 2 swords, and 2 cups. So 2, 2, 2, 2. It's rarely like that. And so a perfect balance for the masculine today. The Knight of Pentacles came up and the King of Swords. Before the read, the King of Cups, and after the read, the King of Wands. So we had 3 kings today as well. And the Loyal Servant, the Knight of Pentacles. The numbers here and the code line was all about, the actual card was abundance, but it was covered, so it actually read the undance. So undancing, but I was also getting the UN dance, because the UN is very much involved with the Olympics this year. And also then the Sophia energy came up before that, which then creates the sun dance. So all of those energies were coming up on the code line around abundance, and also the temperature of the masculine rising. Also, the mother was coming up here again. It was kind of funny today. The shadow, the stuttering was coming up, and in the undancing. So it's like taking the 8 of the dance and undoing the twist. Oh, and that's so funny because my son just told me he just watched the sequel to Saturday Night Live. What was it called? But, you know, that's about twisting and dancing and all that kind of stuff. So it's like undancing, untwisting the 8. Back to the 0 with the line through it, the pi. Like going in rewind. It's kind of like the retrograde energy. But the shadow is coming up, which was the challenge in this read. And the 9 of the Hermit, as well as the 6 of the Lovers, and the 5 of the Hierophant. The Hierophant's Taurus energies, and then the Lovers is Gemini energies, and then the Hermit is Virgo energies, and then the shadow as well of Capricorn energies. We're all in the code line today. So the false mother, or the mother that's the foe, or the mother that's 4 to 5 of the Christ consciousness. So the Emperor and the Hierophant coming up here, but also the 45 of the grieving process. So a mother supporting the grieving process, or they're being false and just pretending to go along with something, but someone's coming up as being seasick. So somebody's sick to their stomach about something, and then the stuttering comes up, right? The shadow. So somebody's scared of the shadow, or they're scared of their own shadow. And then the 9E comes up, which has to do with the collective consciousness, the Hermit, the Wise One, and the Feminines. And I'm losing my voice. So the Dark Hermit, there's a Dark Hermit energy that comes up here. So it's like the Magician reversed in the Virgo energy, because that can be Gemini as well, and Aries for me too. But it's coming up as the Dark Hermit. So whoever's isolating, it's becoming the dark side of isolation, where they feel like they're losing their mind, or it literally can be someone who has mental issues, like a parent getting Alzheimer's or something like that. So, but the mother false energy is coming up again for expansion of unity consciousness. The Lovers, the Christ consciousness, the Sophia 9, the collective consciousness of the feminine, the shivering and the stuttering of the shadow side of the Dark Hermit, and the E, the feminine energy, undancing. So going back to the pi as opposed to the balanced masculine and feminine. It's more of like a stasis as opposed to a moved balance. Saying being balanced while you're completely still as opposed to the dance. But again, that seasick was important because the nausea came up multiple times, and also then the abundance was coming up as the undance, but also the sun dance. All right, so that has to do with the sun and the masculine energy in the dance, so focusing more on that than the feminine, but also the abundance, which is a abundance, B-U-N is a marker for clearance in your kidneys, so it has to do with transmuting physical purges, which like my arm is a pain, but they also purges through, when you poop and pee, that's a purge that we do every day automatically. But it has to do with that. But abundance also has to do with a bun, which is a butt dance, which I was getting a booty call. So somebody might be having a booty call. Then we have the numbers that came up, which I didn't tell you about yet. The very important because it came up 3 times: 5, 6, 5, 6, and 5, 6. Not just triple fives and triple sixes, but 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, which is the 2 of wands, or the 2 of swords, which ended up being the last clarification card in the read today, reversed. So the 2 of swords reversed was very important. It's saying all the information is, there's no more information that you need. You have what you need to make your decisions, so make them, basically. So we also had 1 come up for the Magician. 89 was coming up as the reflection of the human body temperature of 98. And 14 came up for the angels, the temperance, patience, and then the 68 is the page of pentacles. 9, 10, begin again, and 4, 5 of the grieving process. Allow, allow, allow. The cycle of the 4, 5, 6 came up as the middle. 1, 2, 3 is the 3D, 4, 5, 6 the 4D, and 7, 8, 9 the 5D. So 4, 5, 6 is the sweet spot, it's the middle, and airing actually to the 5, 6, 7. So 4 was much more minor in the coding than the 5, 6. The sweet spot of the 56, or in other words, the 4D, and then delirium was coming up from Shutter Island coming up, which then references fever, and Saturday Night Fever just came up, and delirium. So knowing without knowing, you don't need any more thoughts or information. It is not delirium, you are not going out of your mind. Going out of your mind. What is the song I'm thinking of? So then the code still went on, the false mother was also coming up as the mother effa, and Martha and Moses. Martha Washington was coming up, and Moses parting the Red Seas, the rising of the sea in a tidal wave, and that can be literal or figurative emotionally, and the stuttering dark show of power of the shadow hermit over isolation and feeling like you're going crazy, and the undancing of the karmic energy, the karmic feminine with the masculine, and the masculine being a nervous wreck, and that's the stuttering coming out, like they don't know what to say, or the karmic doesn't know what to say, but there's some kind of stuck and they can't speak, or they're really just a nervous wreck. And then wreck came up, which has to do with the tidal wave again, because shipwrecks. And then the UN dance, which again has to do with anything the UN deals with, but also going into the Olympics this year. And the tidal wave. So it could be a tidal wave somewhere. So if this happened already, let me know, because I don't watch the news. So the boiling point for the masculine. It's saying, slow yourself down. Instead of doing the dance between the masculine and feminine, just be still and balanced. That's all you need to overcome right now. Then the Shah and the Tao came up. So the Shah, very much powerful, and then the Tao with the Tao market, and the 9 and the Hermit and the collective consciousness, and then the EU or the Europe connection to this, and the Divine Masculine's dance there. So then I went online just to see what else was coming up in relation to all of this. And the first header was so weird. It was from snoco.org, SNOCO.org, and it was like ER1 through ER9. So it just said, it started out with R.2, but then it said ER3, ER4, ER5 through ER9. And so 9 was important because that was the hermit, right? The dark hermit that's coming up, the shadow side of the hermit, the isolation and going out of your mind or losing your mind, was coming up as very important in this header, and it's the ER. So emergent, somebody might need to be taken to the emergency room, somebody might have a stroke, or just feeling like they're going nuts. But when I opened this, because I was so curious as to what it was, all it was a picture from June 29th, 2019 of this year, a future land use map. And the town was Snohomish County. And I'm like, where the heck is that? So I looked it up on the map, and it's actually in Washington State. And then I'm thinking, and my brother just moved to Washington State, but I don't really know where he moved exactly because I haven't really looked at it yet because they're still working on the house. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way he's living all the way up near Canada, because that's where this town is. So I called him up to find out where, and he was working on the house with the workers doing demolition and sanding, and he puts the worker on the phone with me so I could ask him where this town was. And the town, Snohomish, was literally 25 minutes from my brother's new house. So that was so weird. So this is a town in Washington where they have a brew fest. It's above Seattle and near Canada. So Snohomish. So there may be something significant because there was some kind of future land use there. So I don't know what they're planning on using it for, but that may be important. Also, DJ Quick came up from genius.com, Dallas, and Sense Lyrics. Another heading came up, 9 to 5. Again, has to do with uprising like a tidal wave and the overthrow of the boss. The path to 9/11 then came up, and that had to do with General Electric. That there's some kind of merger going on, GE Choice Point and the Key. And this was from truthmovecom, blogspot.com. The significance of this German company had to do with, that they're dealing with right now, has to do with the significance of GE ownership, in that AEG, Osram, were prominent suppliers of funds for Hitler in his rise in 1933. So there's all these overthrowing the power coming up here, including a tidal wave. 9.com.au came up. Many a True Nerd came up. Kung Fu movies came up, as well as FC Barcelona, the movie spoiler, and Sundance TV. So here's that Sundance pulling into the abundance. So also the acronym EUN came up, and the acronyms that came up were Egypt Universities Network. Les Ayur, Morocco came up, which is the airport code, and it's so weird because Morocco came up in the colors in a read yesterday or today. And then, or maybe it is the read today, I just can't remember. And then and endogenous urinary nitrogen, and editorial Universidad Nacional. So that's in Costa Rica. So there's my dad coming through, because not only is it in another language, so instead of saying university, it said universal, it says Universidad, right? But it's brought up dad, and then it was from Costa Rica, which is the last place my father did serious work before he passed away, before he retired and moved. So my dad knew that I would recognize that as such. Also, EU and his end user network and external update notification. All right, so we have 3 kings and we have 4 twos and 555s, 666s, and 56 major, and fever, delirium, Shutter Island, the sweet spot, the rising of the sea, the tidal wave, the wreck, the stuttering, the emergent things, the uprisings, and the overthrows. So all that energy is coming up, especially with the tower energy here. So as we start this read here, we have the 5 of Wands, or the 5 of Flames from the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the orange card there on top. I can't see the other cards underneath. But the other cards underneath there, the last one is the King of Cups upright, then the Strength card, the 4 of Cups reversed, and then the 10 of Swords are all under that 5 of Flames. So we start there with the expansion energy. With freedom, change, the King of Cups, unconditional love, strong tiger with their eye on the prize, grounding and integrating an offer of love. At 3:33 now it is, and we started the page at 3:30. No more wishing on a star to start over in love, now doing it in a painful ending, betrayal, massage, or some kind of back treatment. Issues at work, fired, laid off, third party not getting along, dumped, overwhelmed, pushed to their emotional limit, injustice of conflict, wealthy family with manipulative, insecure emperor reversed, or 3 partners, the magician reversed and the emperor reversed, from a wealthy family or big company who wants to buy you out as the little guy, or you separate from the group to go on your own. Not agreeing, no one on the same page, all negative redcoats, manipulator, power abuser, and victim of injustice to the justice system. In a buyout, would control whatever you do, and Gemini or Virgo, Aries, and Libra are here, as well as Scorpio. The King of Cups of wealth and strength, starting over in a painful ending. A work-love connection, perhaps. The end of family or emotional cycle. Clearly, all information is in, knocking them off balance. With the workplace issue and disconnect, the Page of Swords reversed could be bad news or a message, or a mean immature words, or a child with a potty mouth, or that won't shut up. Explodes or causes an eruption, drama, epiphany, or everyone kicked out, a fire or a fight. Sudden breakup or disconnect, or sale of a house or business, no leg or ground to stand on, and faulty foundation or lies or rumors at work. Grieving, loss, or regret, the King of Cups with streetcar named Desire, or boxcar or box cutters found, which is so weird that this came up today, because one day my parents were both living in the Alzheimer's facility before my dad passed away 3 years ago. They were in separate rooms because my dad didn't have Alzheimer's. He was just physically incapacitated. But one day when we went in there, we found box cutters under both of their beds. It was so weird. So box cutters coming up again here, found. Blocks having to do with money, settling out debts, or a big purchase, or scammed at work for being a loving man, or a flood at work, a tidal wave, or stormy emotions, an island unto himself, overworked and underappreciated, done aligning with more and more and more projects, others' desires, not his or yours. Lost at sea and surrendering to the process, true love comes up for the masculine, and beneath that was stay optimistic about your love life. The Queen of Cups reversed is out, so she can be just really sad and crying or purging, or she could feel manipulative as well. Or it could be over-emotional and dramatic. But either way, she's out there putting it all out there, and the Chariot is making itself known. The male bulls, the Chariot's out there making it known that male bulls have penises and a lot of balls. Selling a long story to one who refuses to wake up and hear it. 2 options or no options. No date, and the Hermit reversed. Losing it or coming out, and the Knight of Pentacles offering fruit and something healthy. Someone here is sick, nauseous, or green, pregnant, or offering a healthy alternative to a restaurant date, an offer of help or friendship, and connected at the knee or the hip. The leprechaun is over it, the old fling or the ex with another, and offering it to someone else, or out of his mind without options, but to make an offer of something. And that was at 414, which is the Emperor and the Temperance card, being patient. So Cancer, Virgo came up right there, and the King of Cups, as well as the Queen of Cups reversed, and true love. Communication comes up here with 33, which is the Christ vibration, and the Seven of Wands, standing up for yourself without reacting. And then beneath that was manifestation, number 8, that dance that we were talking about in the beginning. So after doing the dance of manifestation, it's time to unwind that 8, to just be still and communicate. The moon is out, the full moon coming Tuesday, a call to action, announcement, divorce, or final decision. The family cycle over, the Queen of Wands on top, with flame fully exposed. Cat sent to ruin Chinese silks, which is funny because there was a cat that came to visit me on my deck the other day, and I don't usually have a blanket out there, but I did because it was chilly that day, and I didn't mind the cat jumping up on me and petting them, but then he started like clawing at my blanket like crazy. So that's what reminded me of this. The cat was sent to ruin somebody's silks. So somebody might have done this to somebody on purpose. Like they might have a lot of good silks or working with silk fabrics, and so sent their cat in there to ruin it all on purpose. Moroccan colors and no more needlepoint, or no more busy bees at home. Casino Royale fully exposed led to lighting an award on fire, or cause of the family's downfall. Finally got the star status or limelight she wanted, but a little stunned, not as expected, the deer in the headlights look. And this is the Queen of Wands. Or real estate agent sold their first house, or the Queen of Wands flipping homes and sold a house, or led to the family's ruin, all unhappy, or an end of family or emotional cycle, or pilot is out, gas leak, or brought down the house, or leaving family or home to be a star, to ground control, she is the sun and the moon, or going to pilot, or to school to be an astronaut, or left home to star or work in Las Vegas, or going from ground control to air traffic controller, which I actually know someone who's waiting to find out if they got in school for that, or the Queen of Wands studying astrology or astronomy, or fighting for her dreams, opposed to the redcoats, who are all reversed, dealing with a takeover, right? Or parting or splitting up a partnership. Or the Queen of Wands is going against the family of power players or Republicans. And then there's exposure of fight, drama, suddenly scammed, or selling out to propose, or make an offer to communicate something healthy. Recently for the masculine is the Knight of Pentacles. Proposing, and this deck is very much about a proposal, or an offer to heal and forgive. The Queen of Cups reversed, defenseless to the energies and attacks, without affection, abandoned, injured, but used the opportunity to make the best of it. Or 1 to 2 in exile, or fired, layoffs, became student again to study all angles and become a performer, or learning to manifest 1 coin at a time, inspiring surrender. At 444, full exposure and heat to fight and drama, the Knight of Pentacles healing the Queen of Cups reversed, defenseless to the lovers reversed, in a breakup or lack of affection, walking all over her to take the gold coin and use it to their advantage. And that can represent the divine feminine's energy. Because when I talk about the gold coin, has to do with that masculine energy that you come in with, that the feminine loses when she gives birth, because she gives that coin to her, or the Christ consciousness, that unity consciousness, to her child. So until she learns to love herself first, she doesn't get her gold coin back yet. So then she just has her silver sword, right? Like the Queen of Swords. So that was very much coming up in this energy here, allowing someone to walk all over her, take her gold coin, and use it to their advantage, right? So her psychic abilities, or whatever it is, her third energy. Or 2 kids left out in the cold, put their 2 coins together to surrender to a partnership together. But it might be good, but it could be mischievous as well. The foundation here is the 6 of Swords reversed. No peace, or unable to find a peaceful place. The King of Wands moves or ends a marriage or visits a friend with the truth. And the King of Wands, dealing with a release from anxiety or prison hung over his head. The Empress with Alzheimer's are coming out about coming together for truth and triumph, coming out actually may be held over his head as well, over a move or instability. The central energy here is destiny that's slow. So the atom bomb was coming up a little bit, but not as something significant. But atom, it was just showing me atom as opposed to the name Adam. It was saying Atom and Eve. Explosions and no peace, or all in pieces, a recipe for slow motion, inability to light, conceive, or perform. In downturn or retrograde, the energy loops down to create a vacuum or momentum, going back up. And that was at 453, which is the catapult. 4 is the Emperor, 53 is the Knight of Swords. So just like the retrograde, you know, the energy loops back in order to create a vacuum or momentum to then go forward when it's ready. Frustrated with a third energy, the Knight of Pentacles offers help or proposes. Humble self or humble servant as inspired to surrender, or kids inspired and learning. The challenge being the shadow side, the Capricorn. And that could definitely be a codependency all about, you know, money and work, overworking and all about money. Scrooge letting go to heal and forgive. And the Magician reversed, recovering possibly 2 of 4 tools, or maybe just some of the tools possibly they lost in a flood or electrical fire. The Empress impatient, insecure, manipulative, or manipulated, and or fallen angel, dumping responsibilities or burdens on the Empress about a bad decision due to insecurity and or manipulation or loss of tools. The Leo and or ego, or taming the beast and being strong in a deception or early morning pre-dawn hours, the Knight of Cups coming out to offer love. Dumped, overwhelmed, purging, or peeing or vomiting from nausea, imbalance, vertigo, drunk, pregnant, or sick to your stomach about inequity and the injustice of it. The Empress completes the cycle, or now there may be 2 Empresses supporting the sealed divine feminine in the 5D, happy and getting wish of happiness, full exposure, healing, forgiving, and free to leap. Surprising, the Knight of Wands rushing in but falling short of energy or holding back passions, without peace due to the devil who owns his penis. Need to find peace by returning sexual energy to its original owner, or a one-night stand, an attempt to find peace or expose the shadow side of himself. No peace, frustrated, it's not time yet, and frustrated due to the shadow side and wanting to have sex. Virgo, Libra, Capricorn, and Sagittarius came up right here. Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius, Aries, and Pisces as well. Now frustrated or just unable to conceive, dreams come true and fully exposed, unhappiness of the devil and or Capricorn energy. And the Queen of Pentacles and Mrs. Jones. So it's like the devil and Mrs. Jones. So the Capricorn and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Cancer, Leo, Aquarius, Capricorn came up here, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, coming up as unhappy, not getting her wish. The third energy of dreams and full power, and exposing, glows or radiates above the rest. So the third energy, so somebody might be dreaming of this as well, a masculine or a child. Third energy of their dreams, right? That they could manifest everything they ever wanted, and full power and exposure glows or radiates above the rest in the Divine Feminine's synchronicities. The kids with literal dreams, exposing all, or dreams of being a star, stealing others' energies by being mean to them to lower their energy, or kids stealing for Leo, Aquarius, or Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles reversed, or spreading rumors, or get the information or energy and run. So take it and run. So it could be a scam artist. And then looking to see what synchronicities they see when they get home, or pulling out cards to see what they get after they did what they did. The fantasy awakening of an idea with no other options, or dumping, purging, drinking, or out of their mind, or seeing that way. The Queen of Swords upright with the man in the mirror, the sealed divine feminine conflicted by sexual energy and letting go to repair and make a bold move or travel to the King of Swords upright here. And that was at 5:26 22. So that's the Hierophant and the Fool. So then we turn the page to the 23, which is the Hierophant and the King of Wands. Exposed, happy, sunshine, kids, Leo with King of Swords, suddenly jealous of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, free to surprise, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, defenseless to their sunshine. Soon for the masculine is getting their wish with 6 rays, twins or kids, happy on their own, ending the family or emotional cycle. Sovereign not seeing eye to eye, with the 9 of Cups happy or twins happy on their own, now come face to face for the first time, with an ending of an emotional cycle. Sunshine, happiness coming together, with the Knight of Cups holding back passion to let go and repair, to heal and forgive. The Seal Divine Feminine, completion and coming full circle, a message of love reaping rewards of sunshine and exposure. The masculine sees himself as the 5 of Cups, grieving loss or regret as the King of Pentacles, in a painful end or betrayal or back pain, the Dark Knight walking over the 4D dead bodies, but falling short on energy, or maybe just making it over the bridge. Make the effort worth waiting for and give your relationship a chance came up for the masculine. Around the masculine, or how he is seen, is the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Unbalanced, but doesn't care anymore. Free to leap away from the war within. No need to express feelings when heart is wide open. The Fool is ready to express the arrows of love to the one suffering, the slings and arrows of love, the pangs of love. The King of Swords needs to clear blocks of the King of Swords in need to release the emotions and find peace under the radar, or in need of attention, or feeling like a failure. Don't be afraid of your truth. The Divine Feminine comes full circle in emotional cycle, innocent and sincere, offering to share what she has, or exposing that you're enough no matter what you have or don't. The Abundance comes up, and the Undance as well, but even more so here is the Karmic completion. Third party big love through work with clarity now, exposing all about the third energy and defenseless to falling short without peace or a peaceful place, and the devil or shadow side of the monkey on his back. Clearly an issue at work, and sunshine, energy, full exposure of the quest of the past and starting over in love and not settling for 5D only. Abandonment and exile of group with an offer of big money or a new life to slow down and slow their roll, with the High Priestess reversed, Hierophant reversed, the King of Swords jealous and making a financial offer to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, secret passion, not caring what society says or thinks, spiritually outside of the box, and that was at 555. Major change. The King of Wands, shaman, exposed and putting twin in exile, and now honoring them, not walking away, and maybe just within, or exiled them to honor their kids first, and not walking away. So they're honoring them by not walking away from them and doing the work with them around. Impatient and difficult emotions, doing the work while around other energies at 559, which is that 5 of Swords guy, needing to stand in your truth adamantly when there's difficult energies around, and freaking out, exploding, or kicking everyone out in a sudden moment, or blowing their crown, blowing their top, blowing their cover, blowing their stack, or even orgasm at the thought of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and that was at 6 p.m. 600, the Lovers. Funny that came up with that. The Queen of Wands reversed, freaking out at the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the Queen of Swords and Devil Cappy wave goodbye, connected with clarity. Impatient, the Queen of Wands reversed loses their temper, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed with explosive personality, and the King of Wands and twins or kids stuck between them and their verbal abuse, while the Queen of Swords speaks to Capricorn to give more clarity. Or the Divine Feminine acts as a mediator for him and 2 women or kids. Conflict without peace, grieving without balance, humble servant, and things are slow, the challenge being the devil, the Capricorn, the shadow side, all about money. Getting wish of the King of Swords, sexually frustrated and fully exposed for putting the Divine Feminine in exile, and the King of Wands, twin, or with kid, and difficult energies to deal with. Drama, conflict, and fueling the Knight of Pentacles to expose all or just be happy, a need for peace in the downturn or twist of fate, with third energy, frustrated and challenged by the shadow side or Capricorn. grieving loss or regret and getting wish to be happy alone, in debt, or freeing self from a bad or inequitable relationship. The King of Swords exposes all, or exiled by group, and the King of Wands shaman, twin in different difficult emotions, is now doing the work. All right, so that's it, you guys. Pretty impressive. It was just a 5500 when I said that, and then 5511. So pretty cool. The truth, 00, and nothing but the truth. So I just have my I'm not going to do the 12 signs today because late and I'm tired. But I have my good tarot, so I am going to pull your card from there. I do tend to get more spiritual messages too. It is the traditional tarot as far as the cards, but it's more spiritual in the pictures. Let's just see what comes up here. It is November 6th, which is also my friend's birthday. Happy birthday, Judy. And for everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Take a deep breath, you guys. Clearing all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities, and filling with beautiful divine love and diamond light. And so it is. And so it is. All right, let's see what we got here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For everyone watching, please, what is our message here? I'm going to ask my dad. Dad, do you have a message for everyone watching today? What do you want us to know? What's for our highest good, our highest concern? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn, Dad? All right, so these two came out. We have the Page of, I think that's fire. I'll look at it in a minute. The Page of Fire reversed and the Four of Air reversed. So take a look at them, and I'll show them to you upright as well. Yeah, so the Page of Wands and the Four of Air, but they're both reversed. So normally the Page of Wands, right, is an inspired boy for me, usually is that energy. And then the Four of Air is usually, you know, somebody resting or sleeping or laying at rest, meditating, praying. In this deck, this is the cards upright, so you can see them more clearly. Okay. The Page of Fire, they look like they're up to something. You know how I said there's something mischievous going on with these two kids? They're making money, right? So they may be playing around with the twin stuff online and maybe trying to do their own channel, or just stealing energy, or like I said, you know, being mean to people to steal their energy from them. I don't know if they learned that from online or from a parent or a friend, but that's going on. These are both reversed. So the Page of Wands may be up to no good. She's got a little smirk on her face, but she's also Oriental, and silks came up. So China or Chinese silks might be something important that's coming up here. But there's a lot of beautiful colors there in that card as well. It's very much like I'm seeing like the lanterns released in this card. Even though there's no lanterns being released, I'm seeing those colors. It's very much about those silk and gem colors. And then the Four of Air is reversed, and she's just she's not sleeping. She's just sitting, hanging out, being very contemplative. But she looks concerned. So reversed here, maybe this sneakiness kind of gets out of hand, right? That inspiration of a child getting out of hand, as opposed to the Page of Wands, which would normally be like having a temper tantrum, which they can still have, but I'm getting more that this is someone doing something sneaky and it gets out of hand now. And then this is about, instead of resting or sleeping or meditating, they can't rest because you see their look on her face. It's hard to get focus on this, but I don't know why. It focuses on some things, but not on others. But anyway, her face is very much that of concern. And I'm getting, because this, you know, the Four of Air is very much about stillness and keeping to yourself, that they are not. That there's what you thought the kid was doing innocently, that you didn't intervene on, now it's time to get up and do something about it. And it's funny because that came up in the movie last night too, where the son, the 18-year-old son, it was a black wife and a white husband. And so, of course, the mother was concerned about this 18-year-old going out. She didn't know where he was. She didn't know who he was with, and worried about him getting arrested and what might happen to him if he gets arrested. So I'm not going to tell you what happens in case you want to watch the movie, but one of the things that came up in the movie was the fact that he had put a bumper sticker on that said to shoot cops, but it had to do with your cell phone, you know, take a picture. But, you know, the first thing you would see is that phrase, to shoot cops. So, and his father was FBI. So, obviously that wasn't a good idea. And it comes up during the movie that she realized he had done this before he went out and wasn't happy about it. But I guess they were fighting when he ran out of the house. So she never got that bumper taken off the car. So that's the kind of energy I'm getting from this, is that a kid did something that could get them into trouble. And the parent didn't do anything about it, or the friend, and now it's time to do something about it. Hopefully it's not too late. Right? Somebody thought it was all cute and colorful with their child who's so full of color. How could anyone say there's anything wrong with my child? I'm getting that kind of energy. But she's really kind of, I don't know. There could even be someone who's got a devil child there. She's got that look on her face. All right, so it's just to, if you're suspicious of your child getting into something that might get them into trouble or in danger, that is something you might need to look into more closely. I want to pull one more time just to see if anything else comes up for you guys. That's really funny that's the message from my dad, because my dad was a very successful person, but it's because his child was that of an impish child. Right? He was all about breaking the rules and the boundaries, but you also have to do it in a, you know, in a somewhat safe manner. You just can't be reckless when breaking the rules. So, and yeah, he knows that I would have brought him up as an imp. So, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. That's what made him so successful in what he did, because he was very childlike. All right, so we'll do one more card. Oh, that came right out. Maybe my dad's got something to say to me about that. All right, so now we have the Five of Fire. All right, so here's conflict that needs to be over, right? So the five, this is about fighting and conflict and competition and battles. And here's another person who's got a kind of smirky look on her face. She could be kind of snarky, you know, and maybe a child, and I'm losing my voice, maybe a child should not treat an adult like that because disrespectful. So I'm getting that, but it's reversed. Okay, so somebody might have been put in their place. And then another card came up, a lot of fire. Boy, guys, with the Tower and the fire cards today, it's really fiery. So the Two of Fire. So this is these two cards upright so you can see the pictures. And this is about choosing the new path. But it's hard, you know, choosing a new path when you're a person on a giraffe may not be such an easy thing, right? Maybe you don't know how to drive a giraffe or you don't know how to get them to go in the direction you want them to go to. So there may be some obstacles that you have to navigate. But here, oh, there you go. Remember I said the lantern's going up in the sky? This is somebody starting something like that. Maybe they have an idea about lanterns and what they want to do with it, but they don't know how to get to Africa or they don't know how to get the lanterns up in the sky. But this is the upright energy. What's coming up is reversed. This is someone who thinks they know more than you, but they're immature, they're young. Like it's like someone just randomly getting up on a giraffe and saying, I can get this giraffe to move in the direction I want to. I got him to take my lantern. Let's go, giraffe, go. Like, but this is about what happens after the fact, right? The reversed. Right? I'm just got when hell freezes over. So somebody's mother or father is probably very annoyed. Maybe they got halfway doing something they thought they could do and had to get pulled back, you know, under wraps. And I am getting out of Africa. So someone might have, if maybe someone was told they can't, it could even be a teen who was told they can't go to Africa or on a safari, maybe bought the trip on their parents' credit card and decided to go themselves anyway. But if they went, they're in a big trouble when they get back, or they got stopped before they went. They weren't able to navigate properly. But there's a big fight. This could be a teenager too, running away, or just really mad and being insistent. I'm going to do what I want to. I don't care what anyone says. So, which is fine for them to stand their ground, but it has to be in a respectful way as well. Yep. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful, guys. Have a great night. Get a good rest. Drink your water. I got to go drink some more now. Make sure you sleep enough. As we're getting into the cold weather, make sure you get some sunlight and get your joy in your nature. And rise and be loved, guys.